YouTube. This is Dazza the Cameraman. Today is Monday, October 24th, 2016, and this is a live hangout with Astronomy Live and Dazza the Cameraman, and hopefully we will have WTF Sky joining us shortly. Now we're looking at the latest breaking news. The coordinates of Nibiru Planet X have just been released according to Nibiru Planet X 2016 video channel. And Astronomy Live is going to give us a breakdown on what he's found looking at those coordinates. Go ahead, Astronomy Live.
Okay, so in this video he shows images from Google Sky. And let me just skip through his video here in various points. So he shows coordinates, but they're very hard to read for the most part. The main thing to pay attention to in these early parts are just the various images that he shows here that he's clicking through. And what he's clicking there, this is an icon for the SLU telescope system. So you can see there's actually two different images overlaid on top of each other here. And then towards the very end, he finally shows an image up close enough and large enough in resolution to actually clearly see the coordinates that are shown here. And again, notice this SLU icon. So what this is, let me go over to, Google Sky and show you what this actually looks like in Google Sky. So this is that same image you were just seeing in the video, and this is in Google Sky, but an important factor to note here, although these coordinates indicate that the position is at 1 hour right ascension, notice down in the bottom right corner, Google Sky is currently reading 13 hours, 3 minutes, and if we fade the picture to the Google Sky background, I'm just going to fade the slider here, and you'll notice that the background stars are a match. There aren't as many stars visible in the SLU picture, but the stars that are visible do match with the background of Google Sky. Notice, for instance, these 3 stars up here and this bright star 48 Virgo here, they all match the position. So basically this image is being put into the right location in the sky.
Just cut in there. Can you just go back to that and flick backwards and forwards a few times between the background and the foreground so people can see that? So you can see all of these background stars are matching up, but there's this bright star appearing in this new picture, and this is what he's claiming is Nibiru. And there are other pictures available as well. Here's one of those black and white pictures he was showing in the video, and again, the background stars do match up. Let me turn off that other background picture. Here we go. So we can see the background stars match. Okay, I'm going to turn that one off. So the question is, this object that we're looking at, have we identified positively what it is?
Yes, we have. So knowing now that the true position is actually 13 hours right ascension, in fact, this appears to be, some sort of simple bug with SLU. If I pop up SLU here, we can see the coordinates, it's off by 12 hours, but if we fix that and we use the coordinates rendered in Google Sky and we use the date, we can use the dates from SLU here. So these pictures were taken in 2011. Here's the very picture we're looking at right now, 2011, February 28th.
Okay,
so
just
if we
the information in that box that just popped up is not displaying at this end, so we might need to take a screenshot of that.
Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah, we'll take a screenshot of that. It worked fine when I recorded the video from my channel earlier, but Google Hangouts may be having issues with it. So it's actually showing that the picture was taken, and I'll take a screenshot right now. The picture was taken on February 28th, 2011, and so we can come into Stellarium. So let me pull up Hangouts here and switch the view to Stellarium, and we can put our put our program in Stellarium, tell it that we're in the Canary Islands, which is where the observatory was located, and hopefully this will share properly. Is this showing up, Dave?
Yes, it is.
Okay, so February 28th, 2011, and we're at the actual position here. This is in the Canary Islands, and you can see that the coordinates up here, the J2000 coordinates, 1303 for right ascension, then declination -3, 53. Now, if we come back to Google Earth, guess what? That's a perfect match. Let me switch it real quick here again.
Okay, I'm just seeing the white screen there, unfortunately.
Yeah, that's because I switched out. So here we go. Here's Google Earth.
Right.
Are you able to see it now?
Yes, indeed.
Okay, and if I zoom in all the way on that bright star, you can see the coordinates down there in the bottom right. Down here, 13 hours, 3 minutes, -3 degrees, 53 declination. This is Saturn. This is where Saturn was in February 28th, 2011.
Okay, I'll just let you do that again because the participants' icons is hiding that data. So if you just share that again, hopefully that'll pop up above where we are.
Okay, so let me see.
That's it. Yep.
Are you able to see it there at the bottom right, 1303? 1303, right ascension, -3, degrees 53 minutes declination.
Right.
So
If you
that's
can zoom right in on that object so that it whites out the screen as you did before, let's try that.
Can you see it now?
Yep, that's good. Now, I was not talking because every time I talk, it cuts back to me, unless I've got you full screen. So there we go. Yes, we saw that, and I'll put you back on full screen.
Okay. Okay, so, all right, there it is in Google Sky. And again, when we switch back to Stellarium, let me do that real quick. Now, I think what's going to happen here, I'm going to switch to screen share, and then I'll have to actually switch. Okay, good. Switches in the program. So there we go. So up here is what you want to look at is the J2000 coordinates, 13 hours, 3 minutes, -3 degrees, 53 minutes declination. That is a match for the predicted position of Saturn on February 28th, 2011. And there are other images as well. Like if we go forward, let me go forward to March 2nd. And let me zoom out. Where's Saturn? Here we go. There's Saturn. So here's Saturn on March 2nd. And notice up here the coordinates are now, on March 2nd, J2000 coordinates, 1303, -3, 50 degrees declination. So if I come back to Google Earth again, there were other pictures taken on successive days from this observatory on SLU. So if I click the SLU icon, I know it's probably not going to show you the actual pictures that I'm seeing, but here when I click on it, it'll pull it up. So this is from March 2nd. And notice the position is now changed. The background stars are still the same, but the position of the bright object has changed a little bit. And if I zoom in on it, you should see now it's at 1303 right ascension, and declination is -3 degrees 50 arc minutes, just as we saw in Stellarium. Can you see that there?
Yep, I'll just allow that to pop into the middle there. So you're back on full screen now.
Okay. Yep. So it's a perfect match not only for that first picture, but the other pictures as well. You can check all the pictures. It matches the position and motion of the planet Saturn.
Right. So in short, what we're talking about here is that the object, which is supposedly Nibiru Planet X, according to Nibiru Planet X 2016, is in fact Saturn, correct?
Exactly. So there are, these various icons that you'll see throughout Google Sky. If I zoom out here, you see all these icons. These are all pictures that were taken by members of the SLU community. And you can click on them and see various pictures that were taken at various times. And when you click on them, they'll actually overlay themselves into the view, just like that. So I can then crossfade. So here's another picture. This is probably, let's see, I got to figure out when this was taken. This was taken May 2nd, 2011. So notice, I guess you guys can't see the date. Let me take another screenshot here.
All we see of the box that you're opening is a big white box.
Yeah, I was afraid of that. If I click on it, does it pop up? No? Okay.
You brought up a photo
Well,
in the previous one, so...
Yeah, I clicked on it. So I clicked on it, and the photo has popped up. It's right here. So this is the photo, and this is, let me see this again, sorry. This is May 2nd, 2011. So again, we have another photo here. This one wasn't even in Nibiru Channel's video, but this is just to show you an example. So notice the background stars match.
Yes, they do.
But we have a new bright object right here. Exactly, but we have a new bright object right here. So let's see, it is coordinates 12 hours, 46 minutes, -2 degrees, 6 minutes declination. So remember that, and then we're going to come back into Stellarium and look at what it showed on May 2nd. Stellarium. Okay, now I'm just going to change the clock. So May 2nd, and look at that. 12 hours, 47 minutes, -2 degrees, 7 arc minutes.
Okay, it's not
So
displaying.
that's another good match.
That's not displaying. Just got a white
Okay,
screen.
sorry, hang on. I might have to switch back and forth.
Yeah, then for
Is
a
it working
moment.
now?
No, but it did for a moment there, so whatever you did a moment ago.
Yeah, so unfortunately I got a message on Facebook, and I think that messed it up. Let me retry the screen share. Facebook took priority and popped up. Okay, how about now?
Yes, I can see that.
Okay, so here we go. Up at the top left, J2000 coordinates, 12 hours, 47 minutes, -2 degrees, 7 minutes right ascension. So we've got another good match here for Saturn.
Right.
So that's all that's going on here. So you can find all kinds of pictures that were taken by members of the SLU community. The thing is, you have to look at the dates, and you have to actually look at what was supposed to be in the sky on those dates from the observatory.
Okay, and we've got WTF Sky has just joined the Hangout, so welcome along, Mari. And I think she may be setting up her microphone, so we'll come back to Mari when she's ready.
Okay. Can you guys hear
You're
me?
with
Now I can
Yep,
hear
well,
you. I couldn't hear you before.
Yep.
Okay, good. Awesome. Hello, guys.
So Astronomy Live has been very busy here analysing these images and coordinates, and what we have confirmed without any doubt is that the object in the video is in fact Saturn. And anyone can check this by using suitable astronomy software such as Stellarium or Starry Night Pro, and put in the correct date for the image and the right ascension and declination coordinates, and you will find that we are indeed looking at Saturn. Correct, Scott?
Yeah, so the only other thing I would say is just that there seems to be a bug with the way that SLU displays the coordinates on its markers. It often seems to put the coordinates 12 hours off in right ascension from where they actually are. So at 12 hours in right ascension, that is 180 degrees. You're literally looking at the opposite side of the sky. But you can clearly see this is in the constellation Virgo. Anywhere, you can look this up online. You can look this up in star almanacs. Virgo's actual right ascension is 13 hours, not 1 hour, thereabouts. So it's it's just a display error.
Right, so the coordinates for Virgo is a simple way to confirm the direction and coordinates that we're looking at.
Exactly.
Are you telling me it's not Nibiru, guys? Just joking. Just being a wise ass.
Yep. Well, is there any surprise? I mean, let's just recap here. So we started off this whole series with planet Enoch crossing the face of the sun. We looked at that video, and what did we discover? It was the Earth's moon, as seen from stereo behind in 2007. And then more recently, when Nibiru Planet X 2016 channel pushed the panic button and announced that Nibiru was being seen from one end of the Earth to the other, and he posted a couple of videos. The first one was from Scotland, which showed Nibiru racing across the sky, and that turned out to be a lens flare. He subsequently removed that video, and then he posted another video showing Nibiru racing across the sky, and that one was clearly a sunlit cloud at sunset. And he subsequently removed that video. So now he's uploaded this latest video claiming to show the coordinates for Nibiru Planet X. And what do we find? It is Saturn. And this is not the first time that Saturn has been blamed for being Nibiru Planet X, is it, Astronomy Live? Can you just tell us more about that?
Well, yeah. A previous example of this would be the infrared layer of Google Sky, where there's a black box in the infrared layer and something looks like it's peeking out from behind that black box. And that usually gets claimed as being censorship to cover up Nibiru or whatever. But if you look at the coordinates of that black box, curiously, it matches the predicted position of Saturn for the year 1983, at the time when the IRAS telescope that was taking the pictures that now make up that infrared layer, the time that telescope was actually operating in space. It was photographing the whole sky in far infrared wavelengths in 1983. And during that time, it passed over the position of Saturn. It actually passed over it twice during its all-sky survey. So there's a double image of Saturn in the all-sky survey, which is really sort of an artifact. They weren't taking pictures of the full sky with the hopes of capturing the major planets. That was something that was somewhat undesirable, but because the IRAS telescope was using cryogenic coolant to cool its detector, it had a very limited period of time that it could operate, and so they had to photograph the entire sky quickly. And so they couldn't wait for Saturn to move out of the way. They just scanned the whole sky as quickly as they could. As a result of that, Saturn is basically permanently enshrined as an artifact in that sky survey. Later reprocessing of the raw data deliberately removed that part of the sky from the survey because astronomers looked at it as an artifact. It was something they didn't really want in the all-sky survey. But you can still go get the original data prior to it being removed. It's still available from the primary sources, and it's there as a double image of Saturn. It looks like a very bright object, similar to what you're seeing here, only with a single line running through it. That's because of basically the way that the detector worked. It wasn't like modern CCD cameras. Back in 1983, CCD technology was basically brand spanking new, and so with the limited technology they had at the time, they basically used a scanning technique where it's a single column of pixels scanning the sky line by line. And as a result of that, when it passed over Saturn, because of the effects of hysteresis, where you get sort of a residual charge in the CCD pixels, you have this residual line that appears after you've scanned over Saturn. Anyway, that's why it looks like that in the pictures. But It's really just an artifact. And so they blocked it out of later reprocessed efforts to process that data. And that's what Google Sky used. But you can go onto the IRS data website. I forget the name of it. We can find that link, and you can put it in the video description if you want. But you can go get the original images, and it's there. It's not censored at all. And it just happens to be Saturn. If you look at the coordinates, it matches the predicted position of Saturn when IRAS was operating in 1983.
Right, and an important point to make about Google Sky and similar programs is that the imagery used in Google Sky was actually taken many years ago. It is not a live view of the sky, as some people believe. It's no different to using Google Maps and looking at the satellite view and looking at your own backyard of your house to see what's there, and you'll notice that the scenery is not recent. If you've got your car parked outside and you look in Google Sky down at your own property, you'll notice that your car can't be seen. And it's no different to using Google Sky. It's not a live view. It cannot be used as a telescope. And certainly the historic images will have the position of the planets as they were at the time that the images were taken. Is that correct, Astronomy Live?
Yeah, that's pretty much right. And it's not like Google was going out there with their own telescopes and setting them up and taking these pictures. They just rely on pre-existing sky surveys. And in this case, they're including image data from SLU. Google doesn't run SLU, but SLU's basically offering them the data so that they can put it into Google Sky and include it. But it's not. None of these images actually come from Google. These are all from other entities. So you want to go to the primary source material if you really want to be accurate with this. And I suspect, I haven't tried myself, but I suspect with some degree of searching, you could probably find the person who actually took this picture. It'll list the member's name, their first name and last initial. You could probably try to track somebody down who took one of these pictures and ask them. Just ask them, what were you taking pictures of? And they'll tell you, Saturn. So always go to the primary source material is what I say.
Absolutely, and maybe we can follow up with that person. Maybe they might want to come onto a hangout and tell us all about their image and exactly what it was, and confirm that it is indeed Saturn.
Absolutely. I mean, I'd love to. Hopefully we can reach him. It's been 5 years since this photo was taken, so I don't even know if they would still be an active member of SLU. But you never know. It might be possible to get in touch and see if he'd like to come on.
Right. Now, I should just remind listeners and viewers that Astronomy Live has just uploaded a detailed video where these images are clearly visible on his channel, Astronomy Live. So be sure to check that out. WTF Sky, what's your take on all of this?
Oh, my take on, well, there's so much to take in. I went out of town and, he went off on the three of us, and I'm still getting my footing about what's going on. And I think, he's just full of crap. I started off my debunking him when I called him out on how he had so many subscribers, and pulled up the website that showed he was adding subs, at a rate of like 800 per hour or something. And, it goes on and on. I've never really gone out of my way to debunk him the way you guys have. His biggest problem with me, I think, is supporting, your efforts. But I'm going to go all out now. If he thinks, I was bad before, he's in for a world of hurt now, because both him and Steve Olson are in trouble in my book. Before I went to Toronto this weekend, Steve Olson was telling me he was going to slap me with a libel lawsuit for my circus video on Planet X. I got a screenshot of it. I don't know if it even matters, honestly.
Yeah, well, as I always say to these guys when they threaten me with legal action, and I've heard that plenty of times before, even from Secure Team, he was talking to his lawyers, he told me, and that was a couple of years ago now. I'm still waiting to hear from his lawyer. So guys, bring it on. Call your lawyers, sue me. You can do your best, because the problem is that when you tell the truth, you cannot be sued, you see. And we stand behind everything that we say 100%. We provide the evidence to back it up, and we're not afraid to be debunked. This is why we're so transparent. We come out here in these live hangouts. We welcome on anybody who is prepared to defend their work, just as we did with Nibiru Planet X 2016 at the outset. And we had him in a live hangout where we discussed his claims. He went away and he actually removed his video claiming to be Planet Enoch crossing in front of the sun. And then I think what happened was he went away and he thought to himself, heck, what am I going to do now? I've got this channel, Nibiru Planet X 2016, and I upload all these fear-mongering videos. What am I going to do now? And he exploded. And so he told this, he concocted the story that he contacted these two professors from the Pittsburgh University, professors of astronomy. He even sent me their names. And as he recently admitted in a Google Hangout, he admitted that he tried to call my bluff. Well, the problem is when you're lying, bluffs backfire. And Scott from Nibiru Planet X 2016 discovered that it backfired. It blew up in his face because I contacted those two professors from Pittsburgh University. They both replied, and they both confirmed that they had no contact with Scott from Nibiru Planet X 2016. So, you know, as I said, we tried to be open. We invited him into the show, and as a result of realizing that he was in serious trouble with his channel, he basically exploded, and this is the result. We stand by everything that we say, and we're happy to have Scott back on, or Steve Olson, or anybody else who is prepared to front up. And we will investigate their claims, we will scrutinize them, and see where the evidence takes us. Astronomy Live?
Absolutely. I mean, we stand by everything we say. I stand by everything I say. You know, I'm who I say I am. There was some remark, I meant to address it in my response video. I forgot to, though, but there was some remark in one of his latest videos saying that I claim to have been a professor at a Florida university. I never claimed that. I am a professional scientist. My official job title is scientist, but I do not work in the university system. I do not work for any of the major Florida universities, and so I do not have the title of professor. That's a title that you have when you work in the university system if you're a scientist or a professor who's teaching at a university. I don't work at a university, though. So I work at a private institute, and as a result of that, I am a scientist, but I'm not a professor. So I wanted to make that distinction clear. Not that I'm trying to help him dox me, which he tried to do in one of his latest videos, but just wanted to make it clear that I never claimed to be a professor, because there's been some insinuation that I've been lying about my resume, if you will, my record, but that is not the case. I am an amateur astronomer. I do this because I enjoy doing it. I'm not a professional astronomer. My degree is not in astronomy, but I do have quite a few years of experience doing amateur astronomy and even making discoveries, including P2016 J3 earlier this year. So, you know, I do have some idea of what I'm doing. I do have some expertise here, but I am an amateur astronomer. I'm not a professional astronomer, and I never claimed to be a professional astronomer. And I think we made that pretty clear to him in our first hangout with him when he came in, and we had a very civil discussion. So it's unfortunate that it's now turned into this.
Yes, indeed. I really believe that Scott was sincere when he came into that hangout, and when he left the hangout. I thought that we had really achieved something, and I said at the time that it was refreshing to see somebody actually turn up, discuss their claims, and for us to have an open, balanced, and respectful discussion. So you can imagine my disappointment when he exploded on my Facebook private message thread with expletives and accusations and all sorts of threats and lies, saying that he had been contacted, or had been in contact, that he had been in contact with these two professors at Pittsburgh University, and that these two professors had replied and even sent him a 13-page PDF document, which of course he has never been able to produce because it simply doesn't exist. So that was quite disappointing to see the turnaround with Scott when we thought that we had actually achieved something there. But I guess it just goes to show his true colors and what his intention is, what his motivation is, and the fact that he keeps uploading these fear-mongering videos showing lens flares, sunlit clouds, and now even Saturn, claiming it to be Nibiru Planet X.
He has no remorse, honestly, for anything he does. And he's a narcissist, textbook. I mean, he'll act one way, like all nice, even after today. And he railed me in the comments of his video. Even after that, he was, you know, trying to be nice to me and say, you know, it's not too late to, you know, come to the other side. You know, you can come to my side because, you know, what did he say? Let me read it. He said, you should have just stayed on my side because your family, friends, and people that care would have been a lot bigger. I don't know. He thinks that he's going to give us like fame or glory or something. And he put, but we can still open our arms to you and welcome you once again, my dear beloved sister. And this was at 3:30 this afternoon, which I find totally absurd, to someone, he was completely offensive to me. Him and his subs rip me apart in comments, and then he goes and tries to, win me back. He's out of chances. I'm on a warpath now with him, and I have no fear about anything because truth prevails, and legally he has not a leg to stand on. I'm pissed. He better watch out.
I'm sorry, Murray, just when you were reading out his comments, I think I threw up a little bit in my mouth there.
Yeah, and that was, like 3:30 this afternoon. That was approximately 5 hours ago. All right.
Right.
All right, so it just shows you how he flips. He's like bipolar. It's mental.
Well, I've got a message that I'm going to say very publicly to Scott from Nibiru Planet X 2016, because we have been exchanging messages via Skype and so forth. And that is, no, Scott, I am not going to back down. I have been doing this debunking for 5 years, and as I told you last night, I've encountered plenty of punks like you, and I've been through this before. No, it's not pleasant having a flame war online like this, but I will not back down because I have truth on my side. We have the facts to back us up, and you can do your worst because I will not be standing down. You have been warned.
I don't even think it would sink in for him. I think he's that thick-headed, unfortunately. He'll just keep on going and going and going and trying to wind people up while he digs himself a deeper and deeper hole with everyone. Sort of fun.
Well, it's probably true, but I can tell you that he has been basically begging me on Skype to go away and leave him alone. He's told me if I take my videos down, he'll take his videos down. Well, that ain't going to happen. As long as he is uploading fair porn videos to his YouTube channel, as long as he has these channels putting this nonsense out there, my videos will stay up. If he wants these videos to go away, he can take his channels down and never come back. And I haven't forgotten WSO, Steve Olson and co, and others, which will be my next pet project. They have been put on notice, and the clock of shame is ticking. And despite Steve Olson's claims that these debunkers will never come on their show and debunk them because their handlers can't control them, etc., which is utter nonsense, of course. Now that I've put him on notice, I have seen a screenshot of the comment that he made when somebody posted my video challenge, saying that he would not have me on his show to expose his audience to me. So clearly what he said about having debunkers debate him was utter nonsense, because he's not prepared to stand up and front up to the claims that he makes in his videos.
Exactly, but he wants his viewers to think that he would. He wants to have it both ways.
Yep. Well, we'll put him on notice. We'll give him plenty of time to respond, plenty of warning, that is, of a time that would normally suit him based on previous hangouts that he's done. And we'll set it up, and we'll have a chair waiting for him in the hangout for him to turn up and respond. And if he doesn't turn up, that will be because he is too coward to turn up and defend his claims.
Exactly. I'm supposed to have Renee Padilla on my channel live on Tuesday, and he said he was going to, debate him on all the claims, because he likes making false accusations on people as well. And Renee is a scientist that was labeled a troll on his channel, and Scott retaliated and basically made up some bunk story about Renee sending like porn to his daughter. And I question whether or not he even has a daughter. If you look at his Facebook profile, he looks like a single bachelor, I don't know. I'm very skeptical about it. You can't put such serious claims on people and not have a police report to back it up. It's messed up. So I'm going to have Renee Padilla on Tuesday and, give him a chance to voice, because he doesn't have a channel. He doesn't have a platform to really, speak out, against, to, stand up for himself. So, yeah.
All right. Okay, we've had this hangout going for about 30 minutes, and what I'd like to do is I think we'll wind this hangout down so that the video itself is not too long. I'd like as many people to watch the video as possible. Obviously, when people look at a video and it's an hour and a half long, well, that puts me off as well. So how about we close down the hangout, and if we want to continue discussing this, and I see that there are plenty of people in the comments who are wanting to comment and maybe even get on, we could set up another hangout. How does that sound, guys?
Sounds good.
Sounds pretty good. I just want to make one more very quick announcement. Just a notification that Nibiru channel now has about 23 hours, almost to the minute, remaining to take down the video defaming and doxing me against my will, before YouTube will put it into their queue and review it and take it down themselves if he doesn't do it. So he now has about 23 hours to remove that video, or else his time is going to run out. So just want to make that clear.
Right, very good. Okay. Anything else from you, WTF Sky?
You know, I just had a long day yesterday being in Canada and hearing all this stuff going on and not having, I felt sort of like my hands were tied yesterday being international, only having, you know how international data roaming is. I just, it sort of screwed my whole day up yesterday, and I'm just still trying to read through the comments and catch up with everything now. So, I just want to let everyone know I'll get back to you, and I'm fine. No nasty comment about me is going to affect me. A lot of people are worried about me out there, like if I'm upset or, jaded. No, it's just going to fire me up more, to wind these guys up even more and cause them more problems.
Right. Okay, well, thank you, Astronomy Live. Thank you, WTF Sky. We'll close this hangout and we'll take a break. And how about we come back on the half hour? So that's in around about 20 minutes. We'll have another hangout and we'll open up for comments and general discussion.
Awesome.
Okay, and thank you for watching.
Bye.
Hello YouTube, this is Dazza the Cameraman. Today is Monday, October 24th, 2016, and this is a live hangout with Astronomy Live and Dazza the Cameraman, and hopefully we will have WTF Sky joining us shortly. Now we're looking at the latest breaking news. The coordinates of Nibiru Planet X have just been released according to Nibiru Planet X 2016 video channel. And Astronomy Live is going to give us a breakdown on what he's found looking at those coordinates. Go ahead, Astronomy Live.
Okay, so in this video he shows images from Google Sky, and let me just skip through his video here in various points. So he shows coordinates, but they're very hard to read for the most part. The main thing to pay attention to in these early parts are just the various images that he shows here that he's clicking through. And what he's clicking there, this is an icon for the SLU telescope system. So you can see there's actually two different images overlaid on top of each other here. And then towards the very end, he finally shows an image up close enough and large enough in resolution to actually clearly see the coordinates that are shown here. And again, notice this SLU icon. So what this is, let me go over to, Google Sky and show you what this actually looks like in Google Sky. So this is that same image you were just seeing in the video, and this is in Google Sky, but an important factor to note here, although these coordinates indicate that the position is at 1 hour right ascension, notice down in the bottom right corner, Google Sky is currently reading 13 hours, 3 minutes, and if we fade the picture to the Google Sky background, I'm just going to fade the slider here, and you'll notice that the background stars are a match. There aren't as many stars visible in the SLU picture, but the stars that are visible do match with the background of Google Sky. Notice, for instance, these 3 stars up here and this bright star 48 Virgo here, they all match the position. So basically this image is being put into the right location in the sky.
Just cut in there. Can you just go back to that and flick backwards and forwards a few times between the background and the foreground so people can see that? So you can see all these background stars are matching up, but there's this bright star appearing in this new picture, and this is what he's claiming is Nibiru. And there are other pictures available as well. Here's one of those black and white pictures he was showing in the video, and again, the background stars do match up. Let me turn off that other background picture. Here we go. So we can see the background stars match. Okay, I'm going to turn that one off. So the question is, this object that we're looking at, have we identified positively what it is?
Yes, we have. So knowing now that the true position is actually 13 hours right ascension, in fact, this appears to be some sort of simple bug with SLU. If I pop up SLU here, we can see the coordinates, it's off by 12 hours, but if we fix that and we use the coordinates rendered in Google Sky and we use the date, we can use the dates from SLU here. So these pictures were taken in 2011. Here's the very picture we're looking at right now, 2011, February 28th.
Okay,
So
just
if we,
the information in that box that just popped up is not displaying at this end, so we might need to take a screenshot of that.
oh, okay, okay, yeah, we'll take a screenshot of that. It worked fine when I recorded the video from my channel earlier, but Google Hangouts may be having issues with it. So it's actually showing that the picture was taken, and I'll take a screenshot right now. The picture was taken on February 28th, 2011. And so we can come into Stellarium. So let me pull up Hangouts here and switch the view to Stellarium, and we can put our put our program in Stellarium, tell it that we're in the Canary Islands, which is where the observatory was located, and hopefully this will share properly. Is this showing up, Dave?
Yes, it is.
Okay, so February 28th, 2011, and we're at the actual position here. This is in the Canary Islands, and you can see that the coordinates up here, the J2000 coordinates, 1303 for right ascension, then declination -353. Now, if we come back to Google Earth, guess what? That's a perfect match. Let me switch it real quick here again.
Okay, I'm just seeing the white screen there, unfortunately.
Yeah, that's because I switched out. So here we go. Here's Google Earth.
Right.
Are you able to see it now?
Yes, indeed.
Okay, and if I zoom in all the way on that bright star, you can see the coordinates down there at the bottom right. Down here, 13 hours, 3 minutes, -3 degrees 53 declination. This is Saturn. This is where Saturn was in February 28th,